discovery. And I change the music. Change. Okay, let's do the for me. Gotta check the barbers. Okay, yeah, yeah, no. Find clone splashes everywhere. Let's do it. Oh, you go to my house to die. Then do it. Then we do it. That's listen. Listen. Nice. Come on, I need to find the coins. What she's saying. Come on, I need this thing because we said it. Oh my God, cool. That's the range.
Even the best journeys end here. And a new one is right around the corner. It takes a team to take it. Watch this! I cannot be stopped.
Then you can make it's okay.
Oh, hello. Hi, I'm real. Hi, it's me. Runkle. Hi JT, I can't be out. We're already starting.
Yeah.
We're already starting with the throwing. That's what we're at. There we go. Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Rocco. I was planning on streaming like another hour or so. I was like, fuck it, why not just start now? I've got nothing else going on. We're playing Slide Cooper. If I could, if I change the fucking music, because I want something more appropriate for my type of stream. It's very clown behavior right now. Maybe Pokemon and Yum would be all I have to for Sunday. Or whatever day it is for y'all. No Slide Cooper movie. Yeah, not the Slide Cooper movie. The PlayStation 2 game. Yo, let's get something. Pokemon into the stream. What's up? Man, apparently it's Thanksgiving in Canada or something. I don't know. I only have like 2 days for this. Told me like, oh, it's I think have a little bit to talk about. I go on for like this thing's going on for the Thanksgiving. You got to see Thanksgiving guys. Canadians for Thanksgiving. They should have bring these back from now. It's okay.
Marjorie Deluxe.
So, out. Ice. Open it to the state.
Ah,
Oh, I think I remember it. Big flat out. Big rock. Sun. What? I think I remember. I think I got stuck on like it made the slide come the movie, but it never like can't do it. You know? Okay, so there's some levels. Yeah, I think exactly that. So yeah, sorry that the audio is low. For some reason, this game is going into the not that high. Sunwolf doesn't sound any worse than Sunwolf to me, but it's talk rock. So I call it Sun. How? You know, I'm rock local. I'm ready. Brooklyn. You can do it. Well, come on in here. You're alright. It's made some slight for that.
refreshing. Let's see. Mm, mm, mhm, mm. Looks good to me. With high Jack. Never. It's like moving it so much.
Of the competition with next level intensity. Jockeys face the intensity.
Okay, I don't. I forgot the control. There's no way that shit. Well, that's a game over. shit. He doesn't actually hurt you, it's just the things around her. Oh my god, she just.
What's this playing video games now? Oh, God. That's me.
Louder.
I'm trying.
Classic Michelle. Incoming. Stop. I'm not looking for no that. She could have teleported out of it. She could have actually just yeah, I think that was alright. What happened? So you don't like where this is going?
What do you mean, chat? Oh no. Damn. Can't even change it for one thing. I'm playing this myself. I like it. Don't like it. I didn't like it. No. Wait, who's pick free 6? No, it's not the free 7 because 99 cents. To get free $7 for a call. Well, I get I definitely would check. Give me some money. So what's no coming in? Let's go. Starts.
You know this motherfucker look right for me?
Up
10 amusement parks, 10 Hershey Park, 9 Disneyland, California, 8 Busch Gardens, 7 Cedar Point, 6 Silver Dollar City, 5 Universal Studios Florida, 4 Dollywood, 3 Universal Studios Hollywood, 2 Magic Kingdom, 1 Islands of Adventure.
Hello, this is the Daddy Network. Calling about your Right, 2 plus 2 equals 4. 4. And today we're going to be starting. What's happening? What you talking about? Uh-oh, it's Leo's season! Chloe, I'm feeling a quick yoga detox with the girls. Have you seen my phone? Amy just gets mad. Hey, what's your deal, Bessie? Hey, let me go! You can tase the lion, but you can't tase its heart. Rocco, what's happening? What you talking about?
It's still raining. Why is it still raining? I did what I was supposed to. Hey.
What happened in history?
A couple weeks ago. Couple weeks ago. So we all know
Oh, he's angry again.
people I made a video talking about it.
No, dude. Yeah. He. Dude. I do not see you. People.
Come back and watch football all season long, live and cable-free with YouTube TV.
YouTube TV.
Stop the car! You must be dumpster. Hey, everybody, it's me, the anthropomorphic tiger, serial mascot, now VTuber, Tony the Tiger.
Hey, Tony, how you doing? How you doing, man?
I don't mean to brag, but I'm kind of proud of my setup.
It looks incredible, Tony. It's amazing. What sort of setup is that? Is it water cooled?
Well, not exactly.
We're using some sort of like a white cryofuel coolant in there?
This is my brand new state-of-the-art milk-cooled PC, custom built for all my Tony games.
Excuse me? What did you say, Tony?
Milk-cooled PC.
Oh, no. No! We've been through this before! You do not cool gaming systems with food! How many times do I have to tell you? I'm done. I can't. I can't.
Stop getting all pepper hands, Mad Pact. Welcome to the club, Tiger Bro.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, the show that's great! Last month, as part of a recent marketing campaign to get hip with the youngs, Kellogg's was looking to turn megabits into megabytes by giving one of their all-time favorite cereal mascots the VTuber treatment. That's right, Tony the Tiger from the front of Frosted Flakes boxes traded in his iconic cat ears for a pair of cat ear headphones. And I gotta say, it's not a bad look. You might even call it great! And yes, I recognize that that's now the second time in 30 seconds that I've used that joke, but if you think I'm overusing it, well, clearly you did not watch this stream.
The inaugural Great Cereal Bowl. Great, friends. Great. Just remember, you're great. Well, that was fun, wasn't it?
As part of his big VTuber debut, Tony hosted the Great Cereal Bowl of Greatness, where streamers Chrissy Official, Gold Glove, Big Cheese, and surprise guest Cleo Thomas went head-to-head competing in Fall Guys to earn their stripes, as well as
A very real, very tangible trophy.
let me just say, when you have to specifically call out the real tangibility of your trophy, I kind of start to doubt that it's actually there. Anyway, missing trophy aside, the stream went largely how you'd expect a branded stream to go. Everyone was very upbeat and positive. Chat was polled about their favorite era of Tony the Tiger. There was cereal tasting. And of course, the essential to every stream, the part where the animated VTuber cereal mascot dropped some very deep value judgments about the state of the world.
Only a few things are high quality enough to earn a great, like Frosted Flakes. If everything was great, then nothing would be great.
Tony lowers his standards for no one. Also, gotta admit, my favorite bit had to be near the end where Chrissy, just to fill an awkward silence, asks Tony what type of a gamer he is, and it completely crashes his system.
So with the pause, does that make you mouse and keyboard or a controller gamer?
He's left speed.
You lost him.
You can just see the marketing team behind the computer scrambling to figure out what the brand safe cool kid answer to this is. Obviously, guys, it's PC Master Race. And by PC, I mean politically correct. Now, for as much as I'm memeing on it, it was cool. Anytime a brand is willing to go out of their comfort zone and try something new, you gotta give it some level of respect, right? And for me, the real highlight of this thing came from the very beginning in that clip that I showed you during the cold open. Tony shows off his gaming rig and it's a high-powered, milk-cooled computer.
This is my brand new state-of-the-art milk-cooled PC. Custom built for all my Tony games.
So of course I hear that and immediately my food theory brain turns on and starts asking whether cooling your computer with milk is possible. And it seems like Kellogg's knew that people like me would be tempted because that moment was immediately followed by a nifty little legal warning from Linda.
Linda from Legal would be mad if I didn't mention that you probably shouldn't put milk in your liquid-cooled PC. That is for tigers only.
Milk-cooled PCs are only for tigers, huh, Tony? But I want to be a tiger. I want to be great, too! So today we're looking at the plausibility of a milk-cooled gaming rig. Seems like a terrible idea, but just how bad are we talking here? We've been down this road before, and I've been shocked by the results. Over on Game Theory, we looked into the possibility of a KFC fried chicken-cooled gaming console, and we found that it would work better than expected, so hey, who knows? Maybe I'll be surprised by milk. So today we're throwing Linda's legal advice out the window. Milk may do a body good, but can it do a GPU good? Could milk, the literal poster child for needed refrigeration, actually be used to cool your computer? Or will our computers be left saying,
It's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice.
Now, before the theory can start heating up, we first need to discuss why computers need to be cooled down in the first place. Computers use electricity, obviously, and they work by changing the state of tiny transistors that exist in the processor. To change the state of those transistors, the voltage...
This year, Prime members get holiday deals before anyone else, which means you're kind of
either needs to be increased or decreased. All circuits have some amount of electrical resistance, so when electricity flows through the gates of the computer, it's going to generate some small amount of heat loss. But because we're talking about billions of small transistors all crammed into there, all operating at the same time, small losses of heat are going to collectively build into a hot computer. And when you're talking about high-powered PCs playing graphically intense games, well, the number and speed of the calculations that the computer is going to have to run are astronomical. Just as an example, the AMD Ryzen Threadripper 3990X, one of the highest-end microprocessors from a few years ago, was reportedly able to run over 2 million instructions per second. Now, admittedly, all of this is a large simplification to how it all works, but basically it all boils down to lots of computing power requires lots of electrical transistors. The more you have and the harder you work them, the more heat you're going to get. So, for the computer to function properly, that heat needs to be dispersed out into the surrounding environment. The most common way of doing that sort of thing? Fans. Simple. Blow cool air over the hot area so it dissipates. But once you start talking about stronger computers that generate more heat, fans may no longer be the most efficient solution. That's why manufacturers created a process called liquid cooling, where heat from a computer is absorbed by what's known as a water block. A water block is a piece of metal like copper or aluminum that's good at absorbing heat. The bottom of the water block sits directly on top of a chip that's being cooled, which allows the heat to transfer up into it. Thermal paste between the chip and the block also helps to improve the heat transfer. The block is then filled with hollow tubes and channels that liquid coolant runs through. Most often, the coolant is water, but in our case, it's going to be milk. Whatever liquid you're talking about, it's going to absorb the heat, and then it's going to go through a series of tubes to a radiator where a fan's going to then cool the whole thing off. Seriously feels like we're inching closer and closer to computer brands just cooling PCs by dumping them in buckets of liquid. Oh wait, Microsoft is already doing that. I see these pictures and I definitely understand the concept, but it also makes every bone in my body scream no. Also, and I need to mention this because people tend to have very strong opinions about computer stuff, I'm not saying liquid cooling necessarily works better or worse for any given system. My friend Linus over at Linus Tech Tips has done some very in-depth episodes looking at the comparative effectiveness of various cooling methods for high-powered desktop setups, only to find that they seem to overhype and under-deliver. So I recommend that you watch those videos if you're curious about whether or not to shoot ice water through your expensive electronic. Me, I'm just the Food Channel guy who sits here and says, milk and computer go brrr. So with all of that out of the way, how does milk possibly fare as a coolant? According to computer brand Corsair, a good coolant needs to meet these three requirements. It needs to efficiently transport heat from water blocks to the radiators, it shouldn't chemically react with other components in the loop, and of course, it should match the aesthetic of your finished system. So let's look at the requirements one at a time. The last one, easy 10 out of 10 for Tony. He might be rocking that neon streamer vibe, but he's always been a cereal boy at heart. On to criteria 2, milk's ability to transport heat. We're talking about liquid cooling. The number we're looking for is a substance's thermal conductivity, which basically means its ability to transfer or conduct heat. Water actually has an excellent thermal conductivity for exactly this purpose. 0.598 watts per meter Kelvin. That's the number of watts conducted per meter thickness of the material per degree of temperature difference between one side and the other. Hence that really wacky unit of measure there. Anyway, what that number basically amounts to is that water is able to absorb a lot of heat before its temperature changes, which is exactly what you want for a coolant. That's often why water is used as the main point of comparison among PC coolants. And as we learned about in our KFC episode, fried chicken would actually be a decent coolant as well, since the high water content of the meat would be able to take in a lot of heat, amounting to about 88% the effectiveness of water. So where does that leave milk? According to the Journal of Dairy Science, the thermal conductivity of whole milk ranges from 0.53 to 0.613, and skim milk may be slightly better, ranging from 0.527 to 0.622 watts per meter Kelvin. In other words, their testing found that milk was right at the level of water, or perhaps even better. I was a bit skeptical, so I kept looking for scientific papers only to find the same results again. Research from the Federal University of Lavros found basically the same thing. Over and over, the papers I read kept saying that milk was right at the conductivity of water, if not better, which both is and isn't surprising when you actually stop to think about the science of this whole thing. It's weird to think of milk being pumped through a computer system and working effectively as a coolant, but then again, milk is basically 88% water anyway, so the results largely track. In fact, we have actual real-world examples of this exact scenario coming from fellow YouTuber J2Cents. Back in 2016, he was out here being daring with some dairy. While the rest of the world focused on coating our bodies with 100 layers of anything we could get our hands on, Jay was out here pumping alternate liquids like Powerade, orange juice, and skim milk through his high-powered computer system just for the lulz. And he found that our research here was right. Skim milk actually performed right on par with normal PC coolants.
All right, well, the test has been going for just under 11 minutes now, and I want to point out the temperatures are actually more level and stable with the milk than they were with the Gatorade.
I thought the Powerade was going to do the best, but the milk actually cooled the best.
So now we know that milk can cool for short periods, but how long can it really last? Jay's test lasted just a few minutes, but we're talking about running milk through a super hot computer for hours. That stuff is going to get hot enough to curdle and clog the tubes, right? At least that was my initial thought, but it turns out no. Milk actually manages to pass this test too. When milk curdles, it goes through a process known as coagulation. Basically, the proteins transform from a liquid to a solid. This usually happens when the milk's acidic content increases, like when it spoils, or during the process of cheese making. But it can also be caused by an increase in temperature. Studies have shown that changes to the proteins of milk aren't prevalent until temperatures exceed 65 degrees Celsius, or for all of us here in the States, that's 149 degrees Fahrenheit. So what temperature is the water in a liquid-cooled computer getting up to? Not nearly that high, it turns out. Most users of high-end gaming PCs report coolant temps of around 30 to 50 degrees Celsius, or 86 to 122 Fahrenheit. Heck, even most D5 or DCC pumps have a max operating temperature of 60 degrees Celsius, or 140 degrees Fahrenheit. You don't even need to know what either of those things are to know that those are numbers keeping Tony's PC clean of curds. Honestly, the worry here isn't milk solids, it's actually the smell. It takes about 55 hours for the smell of milk to turn sour. Not necessarily spoil, just turn sour. And considering the average playthrough of Elden Ring clocks in at just over 100 hours, let's just say that the consecrated snowfield is gonna stink hard, and not just for the usual reasons. So it looks good and it's able to withstand the heat. Sure, the smell might get bad in a few days, but still, as long as we flush the system regularly, we should be cool to brag about our milk-cooled PC, right? Rub that one in, Linda from Legal Space. Except, we still haven't touched on point number 3 here, chemical reactions. The coolant you choose shouldn't chemically react with other components in the loop, and that obviously makes sense. The fluid you choose to cool your PC kinda is gonna fail at its job if it's also ruining your PC in the process. And this, my friends, is the major problem with milk. You see, around the 1930s, Big Dairy had itself a problem. All of its metallic equipment was having unusually short lifespans due to corrosion. And when they went to investigate the cause, turns out
Be more than that. What will they say next? On the power of dreams.
Enlist and earn up to a $50,000 bonus. A great start to an amazing career. Get started now at GoArmy.com/bonus.
milk, copper, and nickel, both metals that are commonly found in their equipment, were feeling the corrosive effects of the milk hard. In fact, they could see the impact of the milk starting to eat away at the metal in as little as 1 hour. And what you know, copper and nickel are two metals that are very important to PC cooling systems. So instead of having 55 hours before the milk smells bad, you now have 1 before it trashes your computer. And by letting it sit in there, over time that corrosion is not only going to affect performance, but in the case of milk, it's also going to serve as an excellent breeding ground for bacteria. Bacteria like biofilms, layers of bacteria that not only attach to the surface of an object, but also to the bacteria around them. One example of biofilms that I'm sure we're all pretty familiar with is dental plaque. Not really the sort of stuff that you want floating around your PC. I mean, I've seen a lot of repair shops calling themselves computer doctors, but not a whole lot of computer dentists around. Unfortunately for Tony, biofilms aren't just slimy situations, but also sticky ones. Thanks to their special shell, the bacteria inside biofilms are almost impossible to chemically eliminate, making them notoriously hard to get rid of. If not properly eliminated, the biofilm will start to affect the system's heat transfer capabilities and even grow large enough to block flow of the tubing. And this isn't a hypothetical situation either. This is the sort of thing that real-world water treatment facilities are constantly having to deal with. This wouldn't just send Tony's computer temp skyrocketing, it would also send his VTuber career crashing down. So how long before Tony's VTuber career ages like, well, milk? When it comes to biofilms, they've been known to form in milk in as little as 8 hours. Thanks to the press release published by Yahoo, we know that Tony's PC was filled 3 days prior. So wouldn't Tony's PC have already been experiencing issues? Well, what if I told you that it was, and we can see it on stream? Don't you think it was a little weird that for the whole hour-and-a-half stream dedicated to Tony's foray into the world of VTubing, he was only present for 45 minutes? What about how the whole time it felt like Tony and the streamers were making excuses for why Tony couldn't play games, even though the press release outright said that Tony was going head-to-head against the streamers? He even brought in a last-minute sub with his guest Cleo Thomas.
Because this is my tournament, it wouldn't be fair if I was to compete against you, so I figured Cleo could come in and step in for me here.
Folks, I'm not buying this one. Remember that moment Tony glitched out over the question of being a console or PC guy? What if that wasn't him desperately searching for a brand-approved answer? What if instead it was his milk-cooled computer failing him? After all, earlier in the stream we hear this about the computer.
I've got 128 gigabytes of RAM. The graphics card is strong enough to render me in 3D.
His computer is how he's able to render himself in real time in 3D during the stream, meaning that that glitch was ultimately a computer failure as his system chugged along, blowing its way through the massive milk corrosion that was happening within the system. In the end, it looks like Linda from Legal was right. Don't drink your coolant and get the milk out of your computer. Keep it in the bowl just like Tony intended. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm in the mood for some tricks. Sorry, Tony, Frosted Flakes just get too soggy too quickly, and that's anything but great. But hey, you know what else is great? Our sponsor for today's episode, Native. I'm gonna be honest with you guys,
Native.
Just inhale intact. Just inhale intact can of.
Sometimes we go too far. I have, and that's why Taco Bell has hired me to make an apology. Go ahead, say sorry. Taco Bell went a bit crazy with its breakfast. It was too much. What you need in the morning is tasty, simple food. Fluffy eggs, fluffy cheese, sausage, hash browns, bacon wraps, and warm tortilla. That's a breakfast crunch wrap. Well, they should open a restaurant that only serves those breakfast crunches. You written it, or is this part of the commercial? I don't know, man. I read the script. Wow. I just found the random you were my recommendation. Your name was interesting to me, so I came to see what's happening. Well, I appreciate you. Hope you're enjoying what you're seeing so far. Okay, this guy's easy. Now I know how to defeat you. I spoke way too soon. Ow.
Do something.
Oh my god, I thought I was going to die. I saw my life flash before my eyes. Oh, hey, look at that. Hello. Yo, I got the lumpy particle. Let's go. All right. We're good. We got the thing we needed. Now we can leave. Let's go to the cave first, though. Okay, before we do that, though, I need to... Oh my god, she's here. Dude, yeah, she would've... Hey, yeah, Misty Parish. Ow.
Oh, where's the good to those buns?
Oh, you're betraying me. Oh, look at this. Thank you so much.
That's some marker something.
I appreciate it. Rob was a pretty cool streamer. He was a nice chill community and likes to hurt him. Ow. Oh, I see. Okay, so you're just gonna reflect them back to me. Okay, dude. What the heck?
Sometimes.
My feathers. Don't turn into one of these abusers in the chat. I know you're better than this, my feathers. I know you're better than this. Ow, what the heck? Please, this game's already bullying me enough. I don't need my chat to be. I don't need chat to be more bullying. That's your blue star. Thank you so much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. you know, picture message is sent. What? Oh, yes.
Okay.
Satisfaction being this beauty escape. Wow, Chad's video is gonna be great. Yeah, it's absolutely great. My partner in Chad is Chad, that's weird. But yeah, I'm gonna say hello too.
Next week.
Since I guess, yeah, a lot of people get so I just want to remind you guys,
Yeah.
my name is Brian Streetrow, I usually play whatever it is I feel like playing, but it's mainly Nintendo games, indie games, battle royales, you know, that you know, wait, what? Alright. Oh, JT, the way that that command works is you have to use like name a specific item in a game, and then whatever that item is, I have to call that the remainder of the game. So for example, like if I'm playing Zelda and I get a bow, you just say like what the bow's new name is, and then I have to call that in the remainder of the stream. I'm assuming you want me to call the weapon that Sly is holding the hook. So I will call it the hook for the remainder of the game. But also, another few people here, if you're like, wow, I like this raccoon guy, he's cool. What is he gonna stream next? And what is he gonna stream? There's my Discord. Shameless self-plug. But if you do want to join, there's the link there. Easiest way to know when I'm streaming, what I'm gonna be playing. But if you just want to come over and say hi to me and chill, that's also there. Just make sure you're 16 and up, though. Because if you're not, you'll get kicked. Very cool Discord. Many cuties not being included. You're like one of the biggest cuties on the Discord server. Does it work if I ask you to call Smoozy Bully for the rest of the stream? Yeah, sure, I got you. I will call Smoozy Bully for the rest of the stream. Just for you, Lucky. Or Neon. Ow!
And she threw it at the shop. They're in it and she won't let anybody go through it. Take the whole fucking bag. If you want to go through the bag, don't go through it again. Take the whole fucking bag.
Why going so fast?
Whoa. I remember that.
Oh, you understand. Okay. Then why did a little birdie call my radar gun?
Hello.
A bird.
Oh, yeah, right back to June 90.
Fox Jays, I think so.
Which everybody could have used. But anyway, it's not a community over there, all the boxes, all the boxes, all the class, everything. Well, they can't use their Lisa and Ryan, I guess, is like really, really like anal. But I'm like, okay, I know. First of all, she has no, I guess her brother bringing her a car because she can't even get around it. And then I know that for a fact because of Elaine. Well, Elaine got one, but she was lucky. She lucked out.
I shows. I'm just inhaled an entire can of Febreze and I'm.
Everyone.
There's a trillion. Green is one of the hardest colors to see, so let's see how many of these words you're able to read. It's going to start off pretty easy, and then it's going to get progressively harder. A sound bigger than a woman was shot by her 3-year-old. What movie are you seeing? What movie are you seeing?
Easy, not like coffee. Huh?
Every single little creature, I kind of get out on my knee with a, I mean, it's not really, it's kind of, I don't do that, but, I have to look at question time. Well, we can have it for years, but I thought, what's the time? Like, the ball shop? And your hair?
Good film.
Where did you get her? I found her in one of Great Grandma Harriet's trunks in the attic. Well, you absolutely must allow me to throw her a welcome to the family tea party. Sorry, Ella, but no, she's really fragile. I have to take special care of her. I spent all day making this coffin to keep her safe.
I mean, I threw out that rug with the little on. Let's do that out on the porch.
Don't you come back until you spit your ass home! Don't touch my music! Did it! You finally got a teenager off our hands.
September of 2019, red balloons started to appear in most Fortnite POIs like Pleasant Park and Retail Row. Floating out of the drains, it was a clear reference to the It movies and even played the creepy Pennywise laugh when you popped them. It was right around Halloween and just in time for It Chapter 2, and so after getting everyone excited, they disappeared, and so did the hopes of a collab until this week. Grim Gables is thought to be a clear reference to Stranger Things, but with a closer look at the roofs and the rounded corners, it seems to have more similarities to the house from It. From the fencing to the boarded up windows, Epic might just be paying tribute once again this Halloween, but we'll have to wait and see who this crossover actually belongs to. But not all canceled crossovers are old. Since the start of Chapter 3, Epic has been teasing collabs on the map like a fridge for Indiana Jones or the Kame House for Dragon Ball. But it wasn't until Season 2 when a teaser surprised everyone, foreshadowing a crossover with Lord of the Rings. With the return of the Rock family, we watched them progress over time, but one update was more important than the rest. The kids started to build a sandcastle and soon it formed a replica of Helm's Deep. People noticed the reference, and with the Rings of Power TV show around the corner, it seemed like the perfect time for a collab. The evidence stacked even higher, as Switch players were able to spot an exclusive secret. There was a mini clock tower which completed the sandcastle, and it lined up perfectly with Helm's Deep. Some insiders even claimed that a collab is coming, but as everyone waited and the show was released, nothing happened. The fate of this crossover sealed when the entire Rock family was removed without warning. But you can't name a more frustrated collab than Family Guy. Over 2 years ago, a mysterious file was added which literally showed Peter Griffin fighting the giant chicken, and the community went crazy over it. Everyone made concepts and memes of Peter Griffin, but eventually, this backfling was revealed as a prank by Epic to troll data miners. It's still never explained why they went through so much effort to edit out all the blood when no player would ever see it. And then months later, the hype returned when an extra large skin and cartoon effect was found in the files. Well, unfortunately, it turned out to be for Thanos and the anime skins, finally debunking this theory. Or so we thought. 1 year later, Epic accidentally leaked a ton of crossovers, including Indiana Jones and Darth Vader. Underneath this was a file called Family Guy, and it seemed like we had finally found proof that it was real all along. Problem is, it has been 8 months since, so did Epic really leak future seasons, or are we getting pranked again? One canceled collab actually made it into the game, and the skin is still in the files. Back in 2020, Donald Mustard and the Russo brothers teased an Extraction crossover on Twitter, joking that John Wick fighting Tyler Rake was something that was entirely possible in Fortnite. Players wondered when we would see the collab arrive until one day, Free Guy was added to the game, and hidden inside of the files was a secret crossover. Epic accidentally added the Tyler Rake skin into the game, and it was codenamed Dusty. But here's where things got weird. Only the body was added, with Chris Hemsworth's face completely missing, but you could tell it was Tyler Rake from the uniform. Everyone was hoping to see this release alongside Extraction 2 in 2023, but the files were actually removed, and we never saw the collab again. So maybe Chris just didn't want to be in the game, and he wasn't the only celebrity to completely vanish from Fortnite. Beyonce was also set to be added in 2021. Thanks to the Apple vs. Epic court case, you can see the single ladies music video, which is going to fit perfectly alongside all the icon emotes. Now, sadly, it has been over a year, and Beyonce is still nowhere to be seen, but hey, it could totally still happen in the future. The same goes for Juice WRLD. A ton of players wanted to see him in the game, and if there was a list of the most anticipated concerts, he would be near the top. The hype reached its peak after fans noticed some strange posts from Juice's manager. He retweeted the Fortnite Season 3 launch post, and people took this as a subtle teaser. Juice WRLD's new album was also titled The Party Never Ends, which seemed almost too fitting with the vibe and season. Now, the evidence was never 100% confirmed, until his manager began to leak way too much. He would go on Instagram and reply to people's messages, hinting that they were working on something with Epic. In a video, he even said he was meeting with the devs to talk about a Juice WRLD concert, but couldn't say any more without getting in trouble. Now, I guess he wasn't lying because we haven't heard anything since, but hopefully more information comes out soon. I will say, though, the hope died with the Peacemaker collab. Even before it was in theaters, insiders claimed that characters from the movie would be arriving in Fortnite. Just a few weeks later, Bloodsport was announced, confirming this to be 100% true. As for the rest of the gang, Bloodsport's bundle included 4 sprays hinting towards extra skins, which were even given their own code names, most notably Peacemaker. So even with an obvious tease, this is where the crossover ended. Nobody else released, even though Peacemaker had an upcoming TV show. When it premiered, the community was full of excitement, and this only got better with posts from Donald Mustard and James Gunn. And so the craziest teaser of all came on the day of the series finale, when John Cena posted the Chapter 3 trailer on his Instagram. It couldn't get any more obvious than this. The collab was basically confirmed, but strangely, nothing ever came of it.
In fact, they swept it under the rug. James Gunn deleted every single tweet related to Fortnite, while Epic decided to make John Cena have normal skin instead. And there were even collabs that were ready to be released but mysteriously vanished. Mystique was part of the Battle Pass during the Marvel season, but something wasn't right. All the characters had their own mythics, from Iron Man's Unibeam to Groot's Ball. They all had the spotlight except Mystique. Well, luckily, leakers realized that she actually wasn't left out when they found mythic dual pistols later in the season. In order to get them, we were going to face Mystique as a boss, and it was even rumored she would spawn on the helicarrier above the island. Unfortunately, the season came to a close, and these pistols were nowhere to be seen. But sometimes there's a collab that breaks the internet, even when it never existed in the first place. A rumor surfaced earlier this year when insiders claimed The Last of Us was coming to Fortnite, and after the leak exploded, they were forced to spill as much info as they could. The journalist mentioned that we'd be getting a skin for Joel and Ellie, and that it would be arriving as soon as September. This date lined up perfectly with The Last of Us Part 1 remake and the new HBO show being revealed. But sometimes rumors get too much attention, and this time around it caught the eye of Neil Druckmann, the creator of the games. He immediately shut down the rumors and said that he loved Fortnite, but there were definitely no plans for Ellie and Joel at the moment. But sometimes there are crossovers that were canceled because of huge controversies, like the time that the baby was secretly pulled from the item shop. He already has several emotes in the game, and Epic was planning on another one in Chapter 2, codenamed Cryptography. It was an upcoming emote of a song AM to PM with Migos, and it was in the files ready to release, but after the baby said some pretty terrifying stuff on stage, Epic went into damage control and scrapped the entire crossover. One of the weirdest decisions in Fortnite history is when a Marvel skin was secretly removed from the game. Season 2 brought Doctor Strange to the Battle Pass, and you could use him to hear secret dialogue from Metal Team Leader. She talks about a pink synthezoid, which is obviously a reference to none other than Vision. With the popularity of WandaVision, this is one of the most desired collabs ever. Season 2 even brought us the Scarlet Witch, leaving us wondering what happened to Vision. He even appeared in the Zero War comics several times, and there's only a handful of characters shown that aren't in games. So knowing Fortnite, there's always Marvel content, we'll probably see him in the future. I mean, honestly, we might be able to find out ourselves, because Back to the Future is one of the only teasers from Donald Mustard that hasn't been released. He first dropped hints at the start of the year, and some fake 4chan posts even tried to turn it into a real leak. Since Donald loves to add pretty much his entire childhood to the game, I'm sure we'll see Doc and Marty sooner or later. One of the strangest band collabs is with Mortal Kombat. This first season Chapter 2 with Ocean knocking out Brutus with a Johnny Cage fatality. It seemed like it could just be a subtle Easter egg until Season 5 brought hunters to the island. One of these warriors was expected to be a Mortal Kombat character, especially with an arcade theme and the leaked Portal background. But when it arrived, it actually turned out to be Street Fighter. Some people think that it's because Mortal Kombat is just way too violent for Fortnite, but like I said, we also have Deadpool and John Wick, so I really don't see the excuse. And I have to admit, it might be why Five Nights at Freddy's still isn't in the game. It's nearly as infamous as the Family Guy collab since it's been going on for years. The community always imagined a crossover, being able to run around as Freddy or Chica, but it didn't seem possible until Chapter 2, Season 5. With Jones bringing in characters from every franchise, Freddy was quickly becoming one of the most wanted collabs. It only got worse when a codenamed French fry was found in the file, becoming immediately attached to Freddy Fazbear. It makes sense, and a few weeks later, the theories went into overdrive. From a set code named Animal Clock being linked to the animatronic creatures, to footsteps audio that sounded exactly like Foxy, the collab seemed like it was truly happening. That's why it was so shocking when this obvious teaser actually ended up being for Tron. And so the excitement was truly killed off when Scott Cawthorne, the creator of FNAF, debunked the entire thing. Well, it's easy to hype ourselves up over a theory. There's times when Fortnite literally teases a collab only to delete it. Epic was planning their first crossover with Nintendo, and it was going to feature Samus from Metroid. She was first leaked into court documents, and then people spotted an identical silhouette in the comics, and Donald Mustard even put out a tweet teasing her arrival. Sadly, this entire partnership fell through since Nintendo is super strict with their characters and wanted Samus to be exclusive on Switch, to which Epic said no. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Tommy, keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.
That making sense. Yeah, we get
Last time.
in real life. Yes, that's what I mean. Continue. Move aside. Move aside. Pens. Maybe ask you a question and you can answer. Ask you a question and you can answer. Where have you?
The Spanish version of KFC has gone rogue. On September. Hey, what are you doing playing on, huh? What is this, darling? Yes, and don't need to go ahead and warm about. I found it. Time. What? You take one bread, you put meat on it, and you put another bread on top. Preposterous. Just try it, my
What did you? That tax. So like if you don't have to do it, you can answer. But I'll make it answer. So far, how is your day so far? You have an answer. Wow, you know, spiritual about. It's the fucking one. Sure. Pokemon. The Pokemon.
On that Fortnite chat, they added me, man. We'll see about
It's 2 in 1 package, that's 4.
power to live is the confidence. Rich creativity shows a more striking appearance. Savage performance. Power controls growth. Leads itself.
Let's rock on the raccoon. Now, label me some Sly Cooper. Some Sly. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that shit anymore. Sly Cooper. Ow. Oh my right? What? Your rights? Excuse you? Ow.
Come on, that does not hurt. Get frozen face with your mic. Oh, it's raining. Yes, it's more like here. We need to make these. One I hate to sit down. Cool crossbow. Maybe. Okay, let's do it.
Why you beat us, don't
Cover already. Hold on. Yeah, I forgot who was she. What's the unicorn flash, baby?
Come on out. Say hello. Take a break.
It's a brain chip.
I also didn't know it had this like weird, I don't know what else to call it. Camel foot.
Be back. Awesome. Give me those free bags. Yes, really curious. Okay, I'm gonna this one and decorate dinner. So I'll be back later.